Hey everyone. So I just want to talk about my little trip to the what do they call that? To the little place where they do like images and where you can listen to your baby heartbeat and stuff like that. I forgot what it's called. But I had an appointment yesterday. Before I went to this appointment, I had called and asked them what was this about and how does it go. And so the lady explained everything to me and, basically told me, how everything went. So to break it down, she was telling me that sometimes she may take more than 20 minutes to find somebody's baby due to how the baby is. And the baby do hide in your backside, and the baby hide all over the place. It can have like multiple places in your body. And so she was just telling me like, just drink a lot of caffeine or something to hype it up and whatever the case may be. And I asked her, I said, have you ever dealt with babies that was stubborn, that was hard to find? And she said yes, that some people that she looked and seen that she didn't see anything, she had made appointments for them to come back and get images. So I had asked her, I said, okay, so what if you can't find a baby? Would you still find a heartbeat? And she said, yeah. She said, if I'm not able to find a baby, I can still find a heartbeat and whatever. So that was the main reason why I went, was to get the heartbeat sounding, whatever. I had to play it off because every time I mention what I'm going through, they don't want to fully check me. They don't want to be, they don't want none to really do with it. So they try to keep themselves out of it as much as possible. Okay, so yesterday I had my appointment and we went in there, and so she was talking to me. So I didn't want to tell them what I was going through because then whatever the case may be, but I think that the person that was doing the little ultrasound on me, I think she had caught on to what I was doing, and she just like, once she started to catch on, she was just acting real funny. And I'm going to put the little video up where you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so she gets, well, I'm sitting there, you were here in the video, like, I'm telling her, like, yeah, I think I'm like 3 months pregnant and blase. And she was like, oh, okay, well, sometimes it's kind of hard to find that early of a pregnancy, but you still can. She said, I can tell you, like, where you at and all this and that. So she gets on there, and on the video I'm going to put up, like, you can see her going through the thing. And then she stops and pulls something up, and she says that it's like I have signs of pregnancy in my body. And as she's talking to me, she's starting to catch on, because I just feel really crazy that I have to start lying to get some help, and I shouldn't have to lie to get some help. But yeah, so I'm just sitting there, just trying to get her to like look at me, and she's just catching on. And so as she's catching on, in the beginning of the thing, you would hear her say, well, this is the, early stages of pregnancy. And it's on a picture thing. And then she's talking to me. She started asking more questions. And then, start talking like, oh, this and that. And I can't really get, like, good images. So I felt the baby move to the middle of my stomach. And I'm trying to get this, like I said, as she started catching on, like, she didn't want to really scan no images. And she gets to the middle of my stomach, and you can see on there, like, I don't know. I have to look back at the tape, but what I seen on there was a big sack that looked like a spine or something was in there. Then she tried to say like, well, this is something, but she can't really see. And so I'm like, all right. She was like, well, you have to go see a professional because blah, blah. And so I'm sitting there confused because she told me she was over 15 years a technician, and she's have dealt with people who babies were stubborn, who didn't show up. She worked with those people, but she didn't want to work with me. So in the video, in the thing, she's like, well, then she tried to change, say, well, I don't see none. Then she go to things and she say, well, she see a pregnancy or something. And it's like, okay, well, can you at least take images? Like the things that she showed me, she didn't want to take images of. And I'm like, well, why you just can't like take images? Because she's pointing out pregnancy things with these images that's popping up on the screen. So I'm like, can you take images of that? And she was like, well, just trying to make excuses. And I'm like, I would pay whatever you want. Like, whatever you want, I'll pay you for it. Like, when I first came in, she's like, oh, this is for fun and da-da-da. So, okay. Then she was like, whatever. So she tried to get off. When she got to the middle where I told her where the baby was at, and the big old sack and like a spine or something popped up. I'm like, look, what is that? Like, what is that right there? And so she's going, and as soon as she get back to the spine thing, like she hurry up and take the Doppler off of my stomach. And I'm just looking like, like crazy. So she was like, well, I can't really get no good pictures. And, she just kept going back and forth with her little shenanigans. And I'm like, okay, so can you get a heartbeat? Can you turn on the sounding machine? And she was like, well, I want to know which one will it be? Would it be yours or the baby's? And she's just trying to make all kind of excuses why not to turn on the noise. And you hear me in the video, and like I told her, I'm like, you told me if you wouldn't be able to find a baby that you could still find a heartbeat. Like, and she was telling me like, well, you probably need like a whole bunch of nonsense. And it's like, well, let's have fun. Like, why not take your time like everybody else, and let's look. Like, as she was doing it, like, it's some things that popped up that look like bones or something. So I'm still trying to like constantly get her to like, can you just like turn on a Doppler? Like, can we listen to the noise in my body, because it's moving around in my body, and maybe as it's moving around we can get to the location where it's at. And so she's still trying to go around it of why she don't basically want to do it. And I'm like, this is wild. She tells me, I asked her from the images she see, I asked her, like, is that an unnormal pregnancy? And she's like, yeah, she said something like, yeah, that's unnormal or something. And she's like, she's not a professional, that I need to go to a professional OBGYN. Now, I don't know if she caught on because she's seeing something bigger than the months that I said I was. I don't know. But in the video I'm going to put up, I just want people to see, like, the little things on the screen that I tried to capture. And I just didn't understand, like, the little things she picked up on the screen. I don't understand why she just didn't take the pictures of it so I can take with me. Like, because she's saying, in the video, she's saying, like, it's signs of pregnancy in your body. And then we get to these objects. See, she don't think nobody's recording the screen. First, one thing she want to say, like, pregnancy. And then when she started catching on, like I said, there's a bunch of evil crap going on. She tried to switch it up and say, well, I don't this and this and that. And it's like, what the hell? Like, you just sat there over the phone and you told me that you could find whatever. So she said that the baby might be like too small, and I said, yeah, can it be like a preemie baby? Is why you having difficulties, whatever. She said, yeah. That I need to go and get a transvaginal thing looked up inside of me. The problem is that these people don't want nobody to go back in the room with me, and they don't want nobody to record. And it's like, that's how they began away with it the whole daggone time. And it's just really irritating, because since 2018, really, I've been trying to get a pregnancy ultrasound, like a complete, correct pregnancy ultrasound. And it's like, I'm having movements and stuff, and I show these doctors things in my stomach and movements going back and forth from the Doppler. You know, they don't want to get that in consideration that, okay, well, let's just give you a full pregnancy ultrasound, so that way we can listen to see if we hear the baby. We can do this and that for the baby, such and such. It's just a lot of freaking bull crap when it comes to this. And the lady yesterday had caught on to what I was trying to do, and she just completely just try to end the whole thing. And then she told me that go to the doctors and go get the complete on how many months I am, and then come back to her. So what is that going to change? When you sat there and you pulled things up and you said that this was a pregnancy and this and that and all kind of things. Like, I don't know, I'm going to put the video up so everybody can see and give me some feedback of the little things. Once she started seeing stuff and started catching on to me, she hurried up and took the Doppler off of me and didn't really look. So she told me to go to a professional because she's not a professional. And I'm like, girl, you told me you 15 years strong. You know what you doing. You know what you doing. You do you. She told me she was a good technician. Now all of a sudden, you get this vibe from me, and you feel all this evil stuff going on. And then she wanted to start to know what hospitals and this and that. And it's like, look, thank you. If you really wanted to, you could have played the heartbeat machine for me. If you like she said, we was having fun. So since we're having fun, this is a fun thing. You told me that I would be able to still get a heartbeat if you didn't get no good pictures. And she got some pictures where at first she's saying their pregnancy, and then she's saying a whole bunch of stuff. So it's like, you got some pictures where you're stating that it's a pregnancy. Why don't you turn on that heartbeat machine? I don't understand.